one thing that will put a dent and a sour taste in your mouth very quickly is if your RV is not working.
So this one is kind of sad. Worst experience as a consumer in my life.
You have to get an RV inspection. The probability of you getting a unit that's not going to have an issue is very slim. When you look at these RVs, when you go to RV shows, it is a disaster. Hey everyone, this is a video a little bit different than we normally do. And we've talked about RVs, RV ownership, and some of the experiences we had owning an RV, and we get a lot of reaction from you guys out there, our viewers. This video, we have a different type of video. We're going to be talking about real RVers and what their experience has been owning an RV.
So this is going to be, like as he said, a different video. This is going to be a reaction video. We are going to take comments that real RVers sent in, because RV Travel did request that RVers send in the issues that they've had with quality control and service and things like that, and so they could share them. So we're going to take some of these comments, kind of break them down, and give our opinions on them.
So the first one we'll get right into is from a John M, and his big issue is that his RV didn't have any kind of schematics, and he writes in quotes, "My issue with RV construction quality is the utter lack of documentation and schematics available in new RVs. My wife and I can be handy with repairs and upgrades, but we usually are flying blind during repairs, and unfortunately, this is very common." Now, we do have a Newmar. I know we got a schematic list as far as the drawings of where wiring is, but if you pull some of, when you look at these RVs, when you go to RV shows, start looking behind panels, it is a disaster. Like, what wiring looks like is, people should be fired for that.
Right, and not only is it a disaster, but it is, like John is saying, it's like impossible sometimes to even find where things are, because every RV is different.
There's
because
no color coding, there's nothing.
Right, a lot of, it's just birds' nests of wires a lot of times. And Newmar, you know, we did get schematics, but John, not quite sure exactly what RV they have, but they did not. So trying to find anything, he said, where's the inverter? What's the configuration of the sewer lines? What size are the plumbing connections? So he said, my wife also wants to mention the lack of quality in the RV furniture. Never sat on an RV couch that was worth a damn.
Yeah, that is correct. Now there's some light at the end of the tunnel. Two particular manufacturers, Alliance RV, they do color code their wires. I don't know about the neatness of them, but at least you know, what, depending on what the color of the wire is, kind of what it corresponds to. I can tell you one company, fifth wheel company, Lux RV. Now that is a high-end.
Right, you're gonna pay for that.
Their wiring was immaculate.
Yes.
When we pull those panels out, I mean, they take pride in it, but clearly done, and you can see it takes a lot of time. Now something like that is going to take a lot longer to put down the production line than the ones that are coming out, you know, in a couple hours, but again, you get what you pay for.
Okay, the next one comes from Michael K, and he writes about production lines and the poor quality, and we've mentioned this in many videos we've done. He says, I used to work in a business where we made things that were about the same price as an RV. There I learned that quality is free, but from what I've heard, not a single RV manufacturer has learned this. Instead, they have designs that are on paper and cheap to produce. The production lines push out poorly assembled units with no effort at quality control, and then make their dealers into their final assembly area. And that's, I think, one of the biggest issues. And we've heard that from dealers as well.
Heard that from,
is that they are getting products that then they are basically finishing the product. And it's how many things they have to fix. And
it's really frustrating for the dealerships, because listen, dealerships don't want to have to deal with you afterwards. Like, they are overwhelmed even trying to get help in their service base. They don't want to deal with you. But the unfortunate thing is, in order for them to even carry lines of manufacturers, like they're walking that fine line, right? If they make that big of a stink, then manufacturers don't sell to them. They can't sell anything. But then they become the final assembly line, and it's really a shame. If you go to RV shows, again, we encourage this. The reality is, most of the RVs that are being put out, not all of them, they are not to par. They are low quality, and that's from many manufacturers.
Even higher end, you know. And we look, we love Newmar, we love Tiffin's, but we have seen Tiffin unfortunately drop a little in quality, not all of them, but we'll link a video up above that we did at the Maryland RV show back in February. That was really disheartening to see the quality in that. That may have just been a bad one, but we've seen plenty at shows, not just from them, but from other manufacturers as well.
Yeah, and the going thing is, it's a rolling earthquake, and I cannot accept that. You have planes that are fine. Now, of course, planes cost a lot more, but there are cars that cost a lot of money. There are if these things can be built to last. They're just not doing it. There are manufacturers that are doing it, and until the consumers no longer accept that standard, it will continue. So we'll do a couple more. We have Bob C. mentions the poor manufactured workmanship of one RV manufacturer built of quality. He writes and quotes, "We have purchased numerous travel trailers over the years from various manufacturers. All but one of them suffered very poor workmanship and water leaks, poor assembly, poor materials, nothing installed straight, poor sealing, missing parts, etc." We have seen this. We have seen RVs that come without sealant, with gaps in slides, with misaligned slides. We showed one in a previous video. It was a Thor specifically. There was a cutout on the bottom of the chassis.
Was it in this for the bathroom?
Correct. So it was on an F53 chassis. The bathroom drain, the plumbing was too long, so they literally cut a hole. You could see from underneath the chassis a hole going like that. That is absurd. There is no quality in that. I know every new manufacturer, every new RV manufacturer, they'll have the RVIA sticker and they're supposed to meet certain standard. We don't know what those standards are, because those standards would never ever fly in the automotive industry.
And again, with the automotive industry, you're looking at things that are made not by hand, right? So that is another big issue that you have in the RV industry, is that everything is made by hand. Many of those hands are newbies and rookies just learning the industry, right? The quality control has to be even more. And we've talked to certain manufacturers also, we won't name who, about why isn't there more automation in the RV industry? And what we said, the amount of floor plans and different things, the amount of money and time it would take to do that. And I understand.
Can you imagine if one RV manufacturer or whoever just automated, one
or two
floor plans,
right,
just put out the highest quality, they'd probably clean shop.
Probably.
On a positive note, Bob C. did mention that his last coach, which was Taylor Coach, was able to produce and support a quality product because their owner, Brad Taylor, and his son performed the assembly work themselves. Now, I looked up Taylor Coach. They're a small company out of Canada. Canada is known to put out good RVs because you have Leisure that's up in...
Right.
They don't put out... They're probably not putting out, 10,000 a year.
Right.
They're taking their time and they're built... So it just goes to show you that, it's built by hand.
It can be done.
But it can be done.
So this one is kind of sad. This is from Mark M. And he got the dealer to buy back his trailer, but he lost $9,000, unfortunately. And this is what he emailed into RV Travel. Quote, "Worst experience as a consumer in my life. I purchased a Salem, which is a Forest River product, FSX 169 RSK last year. The first time out, the slide stuck and would not deploy. Vacation ruined. Took it to the dealer and they repaired it by replacing a 1x2 wood support with a 2x4. There were numerous other issues with the unit, including a leaking water pump, no water pressure for hot water, and the typical non-closing doors and cabinets. Took the unit out again and slide again, stuck, this time open. That is not good. Finally got it semi-closed enough to travel. They claimed they got instructions from Forest River on how to address the problem. 3 weeks later, still no repair was completed." This is the sad part, and it very tough to hear. Forest River refused to speak with me. They said this kind of thing is normal and to be expected with an RV. I went to war with the dealer and they finally agreed to buy back my near new camper that had never worked for $9,000 less than I paid. I took the money and ran. I will never buy a new unit again. Forest River is run by people who know they make a crap product, but they don't care. This is a quote from Mark M.
Now,
it's unfortunate.
A couple things reflecting on this. Number one, Mark M had gotten a competent RV inspector prior to pickup. Many of these things have been picked up.
There's an unhappy dog across the way, so sorry for the sound.
Again, we've talked about this on many different videos, and we'll link the latest one above. You have to get an RV inspection. Whether you buy new or used, you have to get it. Because unfortunately, unless you're buying a super custom unit, and even those, we would get an inspection.
Absolutely, yeah.
The probability of you getting a unit that's not going to have an issue right out of the dealer is very slim, and that's just unfortunate. The other unfortunate thing is what he said in here about Forest River. I just said it earlier.
Lack of help. Yeah.
They just don't care. People are buying RVs, and if they continue to buy RVs in this condition, the manufacturers will continue to produce them. The consumer, unfortunately, has to step up, or another manufacturer has to come. But it's a hard, listen, most of them are based out of Indiana. That is a tight-knit. It is hard to get in there, and it's hard. They have legislators behind them. They have a lot of things behind them. We're doing a video specifically with an attorney. I don't know if it's going to be out yet. If it is, we'll link it above. If it's not, you need to follow up and subscribe and watch that, because they're going to talk about what really goes on behind the scenes with RV manufacturers.
And another little point about inspections too, a lot of people will say, well, I wanted to get an inspection, but the dealer said either A, I can't get an inspection done, or they're going to charge me $1,000 or whatever to have it done at the place. Guys, you're going to want to move on to somewhere else, because a dealer should be welcoming inspections. You're the customer, you should be first in line to get that done, and they should be supporting you, not trying to hide anything.
Yeah, at this point, we're going to talk about new RVs. An entry-level RV is going to be minimum probably 15,000, but that's not even like probably 25,000. That's a lot of money, guys. If you are not made to feel comfortable on the RV you're buying, if it's not the floor plan you want, if there's something you don't like, then don't get it. Because there's a lot of ones out there. And unfortunately, once you buy that RV, once you take delivery, you're bottom of the barrel.
Yep.
And these things depreciate as soon as you take them off the lot.
Right. Right now, guys, this is a very different time than COVID, right? COVID, people are like, I have to get it. They're going to sell it. It's different now. RVs sitting on the lots. There are 22s still.
We just saw one yesterday.
Right.
A brand new 22 Integra Aspire sitting on the lot. Man, they're probably looking to give that thing away.
Right. So the consumer has more power now.
Guys, we're doing this video because we enjoy the RV lifestyle. We want you to enjoy the RV lifestyle. But one thing that will put a dent and a sour taste in your mouth very quickly is if your RV is not working. Then it just becomes a hassle and a headache.
Right.
So in the comments below, let us know, what do you think about this video? Put in your experience with your RV. Also, do you like videos like this? If you do, we'll do more of them. And to the left of us, if you like videos like this, we'll put our RV Newbies playlist. We'll put our RV News playlist. And for myself and MJ, it's a journey of a lifetime, and we'll see you on the road.